Hey y'all, I'm gonna cook some quick turnip greens. So I'm gonna let you see my pot right there. What I'm gonna do is, let me fix my scissors first. There we go. I like to mix turnip green and mustard. Now, you know, there's all kinds of greens you can get, and they're really good. This one is a turnip greens. It's been washed 3 times, so it's going in. Looks like a lot, but listen, y'all, they cool down a lot. Now, this one is called mustard greens, and they are really good. I love them. We used to plant what we called curly mustard. George and I, we would plant that in our garden, a curly mustard. But this one is not the curly mustard. All right, and this has been triple washed also. So I'm going to let that cook down a little bit, and I'm going to put on about maybe 3 pieces of bacon in it. You could put any kind of meat in it to season you wanted to. You can put a ham bone, you can put ham hock, you can put neck bone, you can put salt pork, just whatever you want. It really doesn't matter, but you need a little seasoning in there, some kind of bacon. So I put 3 half pieces, and my salt shaker is out, so I'm going to have to just sprinkle it out of here. Like that. Ooh, it's already smelling good. Put your little salt on it, and you know it's always good to undersalt until you start tasting it, and then you can always add some salt, okay? Because you sure don't want to put too much salt in it. That'll ruin the whole kit and caboodle. All right, I'm going to put this top on it, and I'm going to let it, I'm going to turn it down a little bit and let it cook. Now, I've got this probably half full of water, and I'm gonna keep it that way. If it cooks down and it's not done, I'm gonna add a little more. The reason is I like pot liquor, and so I like to crumble my cornbread in that pot liquor, and that pot liquor is so good for you, and it tastes good too. I love to just drink it. But I'm gonna cook these turnip greens, and I'm gonna put when it cooks down a little bit, I'm gonna put the rest of this in, and I'm gonna cook both bags. But in case y'all never eaten it, some other kind of greens that I really like, and so if you've never gardened, you might want to try this. One of them's called kale. It's a hardy, dark green, leafy vegetable, and it's real good for you, and easy to grow, little tiny seeds and everything. And the other one I like is called rape, and it is really good too. It's got a beautiful leaf to it, and they are delicious. So you've got all kinds of greens, and they're just extra good for you. So y'all try to cook you some greens. All you really need is for a complete meal, in my opinion, is some greens. Do something with a pork chop, cornbread, and I think macaroni cheese goes good with this. So it would be some kind of greens, a pot of greens, and then a pork chop, a little macaroni cheese, and cornbread. That is all you need. The only other thing I can think of is maybe some little green onions to go with it. I like to eat green onions along with mine. Okay, that is cooking down a little bit now. See how it's going down in there, and it's, oh, well, you can't see. Let me talk to you about seeing it. See how it's going down in there, and it's a lot lower than it was. See how they're doing. See how much water I've got. I got plenty in there. I sure do. I'm gonna put the rest of these in there now. All right, and I'm gonna put the top on it again, and when it cooks down a little bit, then I'm gonna turn it down. I'm not gonna turn it down though till it actually cooks down good. Listen, today was a beautiful day, so I went outside. I was gonna work in the yard a little bit since it was so pretty, and the weather, it's 60 degrees out there. It's just beautiful. But anyway, I decided I would rake up the hickory nuts that fell off of my trees. I've got 2 huge hickory nut trees in the backyard. And, well, actually, there's 3. And they make a nut, I'm sure y'all know about it. It's about that big around. They grow in the woods around our area. And I've shown them on my videos before. I did show you hickory nuts. But anyway, I raked, and the squirrels have been out there, and they can open those things, and they eat that nut out, and then this leaves shells everywhere. So I got my gloves on, and I did a little raking today. And I thought, well, that's good exercise. So anyway, I'm going to stick with this exercise thing. I've got to do something. You know, you lose muscle mass when you get older. So we need to be using our muscles, picking up our iron skillets and making biscuits. I'm so proud of y'all. I love to watch that White Lily community, because everybody's putting their biscuits on there, and they're showing my biscuits and their biscuits, and everybody's making biscuits, and I think America's just getting happier and happier eating them. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye. Let me fix this. Oh, Lord. I'm trying to get this off. Hey, y'all. It's getting dark outside, so it's getting supper time. I'm going to have my supper. I'm going to take my bath, and I'm going to bed. I've been up a long time. It's been a long day. But anyway, since it's just me tonight, I'm going to cook me a half an eggplant, and I'm going to deep fat fry it. So I'll just show you how I do it. I've shown you before on one of my other videos on Cooking with Brenda Gantt on Facebook. But it's been a long time. I think I did it in the summertime. That's when I showed you last time. We made that on the Cooking with Brenda Gantt. We made that eggplant parmesan. I remember doing that with you when I forgot to roll the egg, or forgot to tell you to roll the eggs in the, boy, it's getting late tonight. Roll the eggplant in the egg whites. Anyway, what I do, and this is so that they won't become greasy, I cut mine in cubes. That's what I do, and they fry quickly. They're not greasy, and they are delicious, and they're easy to do this way. I just kind of cut a cube about like you would cut potato salad. Or that's how I showed you on the other video. That one's a little fat. Let me get him out. That's good. All right, all you do is just put your eggplant in your bowl. Like that. That's a little half eggplant, okay? Then you put just a scoop of buttermilk over it, just to make them wet. I probably, maybe on this little bit right here, probably a tablespoon or teaspoon, really, that's enough right there. Just a little bit. It doesn't take much. If I can get the top back on it, there we go. And you stir it up and make sure that all your little eggplants are wet. Like that. You want them all wet. I got my grease hot over here, or getting hot. And then what I put on mine is I just put salt and pepper. Now, I just brought some salt in here. I don't know what I did with it. I'll use this, but I found another thing of it. All right, I'm going to use, I'm going to salt them. I'm going to pepper them. I like a lot of pepper on mine. And I'm going to put a little bit of cornmeal. I'm just putting self-rising cornmeal. It's White Lily self-rising cornmeal. And I'm just going to put enough on it to coat. And what you do is when that buttermilk gets on the eggplant, when it wets it, look at what happens. Your cornmeal sticks to the eggplant. See, like that. And I probably I put that full of it just about. Like that. And you want to put enough on there so that your cornmeal is kind of dry. Now, when I get through doing that, I'm going to put just a little bit, maybe with as little bit as I'm cooking, I think I'll just put like a teaspoon or something. I mean, I'm not going to put much. I'm just going to put that much. Little bit, little teaspoon or tablespoon maybe in there. And that's going to give it a little extra crunch, okay? And it's ready to fry. Look at that. Now, this is how I do my tomatoes. I cut my green tomatoes. I cut those up in squares. I cut my eggplant up in squares, and I cut my oh Lord, I cut my little yellow squash and my little zucchini squash up in squares. Okay, it's ready to fry. Now what we're gonna do now is we got my grease hot over here. There we go, and I am gonna put these in. Now you don't want to put all that little crumblies in the bottom, okay? What fell off of them. You just want to put the eggplant with the, okay? I'm fixing to have me some supper here in just a little bit. My Hannah told me to come and eat with her tonight. She's having chili. But I told her I'd just do it home tonight. I just didn't want to get out tonight. I want to go to bed early and take my bath early. And so I cooked me a half an eggplant. And I'm going to cook me some of those turnips. I've already got my turnip greens ready. Y'all saw me do that. Okay, come over here and look in my skillet so you can see how they're frying. See there? That's some eggplant. Okay. Let me get my scooper out. I'm going to put them on some paper towels in case there's any little excess grease coming off. Yeah, it's a whole different ball game, isn't it, girls, when you cook it for yourself. It's a whole different ball game. You mess up just as much in the kitchen, but you don't have to cook as much. So just, you have to kind of weigh it out, don't you, what you're going to do. So we got that going. I've got my turnip greens hot, and I'm going to make me just a little tiny bit of cornbread. I'm just going to make like a little hoe cake because I'm not going to make a big old pan or something. So I'll be back in a minute and show you how that's going to look. Okay, the eggplants are just about ready. I want you to see these when I take them out and get me a plate and put them on. They're so good this way now. It doesn't take long at all to cook them. Y'all excuse how I look today because I didn't want to fix up today. You know, sometimes we just don't want to, right? We just don't want to. Okay, I think these are ready. I'm going to turn this grease off. And yes, I saved my grease. And yes, I let all these little crumblies fall to the bottom. Then I pour the grease off in a bowl. Then I wipe out the bottom of my pan. Throw that in the garbage can. And then I pour my good grease back in the skillet. It stays in the skillet all the time. All right, that's your little fried eggplant. See how pretty they are? They're good, too. All right, I'm going to put those right here. Now I'm going to cook my cornbread in this tiny little bitty skillet. So just give me a minute here to get set up, okay? Okay, I'm ready to flip it. Here we go. Let me get you where you can see. Okay? You just have to kind of put your hand on this side a little bit. Because you don't want to, okay, there it is. Let me get it up here where you can see it. See, I'm just cooking me a little hoe cake. That's all it is. Now, some people, when they write in tonight, whenever I post this thing, might wait till tomorrow since I'm going to eat and go to bed. But anyway, they may make their hoe cake out of something different. And that is okay. You know, all different parts of the country when they're talking about a hoe cake, they're not necessarily talking about the same exact thing. Let me rinse the hand off. They might be talking about something else, okay? So, but this is what George's mama called them, hoe cake. And when they put it on the table, they just, hers would be bigger, you know, that she would fry. And they would just break off, everybody, when you passed it around, everybody just break off a piece of that hoe cake as they went around it. So everybody got some crunchy on it. So there's this one piece left in the middle. And it didn't have any crunch except on the top and bottom. Miss Gantt always ate that one, bless her heart. And when George took me home to meet his family, I think I've told you this before, but I've got some new followers, so I want them to hear it. When George took me home to meet his family, she had made a hoe cake, and she took her knife and cut it in beautiful little pie-shaped wedges, around it. George says, "Mama, why'd you cut the cornbread?" And it made her so mad she could have just strangled him right there, because she was trying to be, polite and everything, and there he was making fun of the way she had cut her cornbread. Hallelujah, my supper is ready. Here's my hoe cake. It looks big on this, doesn't it? But you just break it like this, and it's just kind of crispy on the outside, soft on the inside. Anyway, I'm gonna have this. Okay, here's my turnip greens and my mustard mix that I cooked this afternoon. I'm gonna drain it a little bit. They look delicious. I've already tasted them, see if they had enough salt. So I'm gonna get me some turnip greens, 2 spoons of them. And y'all, you can freeze these good. If you cook like a big pot of them, you can just put you some serving size, fix it, and put it in the freezer. And make sure you squash them down in your bag. Get me a little eggplant right here. I told y'all what would be good with turnip greens, but I didn't fix that. And the reason I didn't, it's hard to fix macaroni for one person. So I usually save that for like Sunday lunch or something when somebody's coming over here. So this was easy to fix for one person. Got my mustard and turnip greens mixed, my hoe cake cornbread, and my eggplant. I'm going to drink water. Love y'all. Have a blessed night. Sleep well. Pull that cover up around your neck and just lay there and just count your blessings. We got them, buddy. We got them. Love y'all. Bye-bye.